Hi everybody, Blaine Tyler come to you again from the Bigfoot barn. Actually, original Bigfoot barn where I encountered them, where I got the idea to start doing shows. It's just over there, but it's been torn down, I guess. But anyway, this log cabin remains, and the reason I'm here today is around July, I guess the 5th, and around that week of 1924, 100 years ago this summer, depending on what date you go by, the Ape Canyon attack happened in Washington. Fred Beck and three of his buddies have been encountering the Sasquatch, seeing them when they went to get water. They shot at one of them on a ridge. At night, what people don't realize is that they were hearing vocalizations and whistles and tree knocks. And then at one point, I guess one was getting too close, and one of the miners shot at one. 100 yards away, moving. I guess there were good shots, but apparently it fell into the gorge. So, pretty cool piece of Bigfooting history. The Ape Canyon attack, which is basically, I guess, one of the golden era, because that's also 1924 where Albert Osterman was abducted in Toby Inlet, BC. But the reason I bring this also up, not just the 100-year anniversary this summer, was that 100 years ago, and Fred Beck mentioned this in his own book, I Fought the Ape Man of Mount St. Helens, he released in '67, and I'll get more on that. He mentioned that they had interdimensional abilities 100 years ago, and for some reason, no one paid attention to that. I remember that. So, when I see them fading out and disappearing, there it is. Fred Beck and his miner buddies observed that 100 years ago out in Washington. And he released, Fred Beck released his book in '67, I think after the Patterson footage became known. So he had some confirmation that these beings were real. Other people were running into them, and with Roger Bob getting footage, then it kind of confirmed their sighting, which their sighting and encounter and attack, but they didn't really need to confirm it because it was investigated by the local town sheriff. A bunch of people went back there. Some of the miners were too scared, but one of them led them back there. They seen all the prints of different sizes. They seen the heavy boulders, and they seen the pounded in cabin from the Sasquatch attack on the cabin after they shot at one. So pretty cool Bigfooting history. Again, Osterman was abducted, was held for like a week, and then he finally escaped by making one of them sick on I guess some kind of chewing tobacco or whatever. But I myself, just coming down this road here, dirt road, just cast 3 prints crossing the road. It's been raining every night for about 3-4 days. I finally got out here after that heat wave, and I just cast like a 22 inch, a 12, and a 10. Just 10 minutes back up the quad trail, which is, you can see right behind me, back that way. So pretty awesome. And another thing I want to mention why I'm also back at this location was when I tried to do a reenactment of the Ape Canyon attack before hunters set up blinds and stuff in here. I used to snoop around, and I used this cabin. I found a rock pile, and I was interrupted by actual Sasquatch when I was trying to film a reenactment of Ape Canyon attack back in 24. I think it was a big female. I call her my girlfriend. She came up and was standing right behind me, but about 2 feet above my head, and started sniffing me, and then went running through all this deep, soft grass. But I could still hear the thud, thud, thud bipedal footfalls as she took off. So pretty awesome. Ape Canyon attack, 100-year anniversary this summer, around July 12th, July 5th. If you backdate it a week, the paper said in July 12th, it happened a week ago. So, but some reports say August, but whatever. 100 years ago, this July, August, the famous Ape Canyon attack happened, and it really put Bigfooting and Bigfoot on the map. And then like guys like Roger Patterson and that started taking it more serious. So pretty cool, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Hi everyone, I'm Blaine Tyler for Finding Sasquatch, coming to you again from northeastern Ontario. Alright, Sasquatch interrupted Ape Canyon reenactment video. This is a compilation video of parts I've taken over the last year since it happened. I went out to put this video together. It's one of my favorites. It all started off with a deer being spooked, and I turned, and actually I filmed it, but the video's corrupt or something. I tried to upload that part, but anyway, so after the deer went charging by me to my right, I filmed a little bit, didn't see anything in the videos, but then I got a text message from my wife to be safe, so I stopped to turn the volume down on the my cell phone. And while I was doing that, something came right up behind me, took a big sniff of my scent, and then I heard heavy footfalls running back through the tall, springy grass and the young sumacs. And at first I thought it was a bear, and it scared the hell out of me because I thought, a bear just accidentally, came across my travels while I was hiking. And I put my camera away and I took out my hunting knife, or had it in my hand, still sheathed in my in its pocket thing. And so anyway, nothing happened. And then when I finally got around to realizing what happened, I got a little bit of footage and some follow-up footage. And I was actually while I was doing one of the follow-ups, it was really hard to make this video. I got disturbed by some jerk in a helicopter that was out flying around. But anyway, here's the compilation of videos. Enjoy. Okay, so here's an old cabin, broken down, heritage cabin. I think it's part of a farmstead. Used for the reenactment. Anyway, Ape Canyon. What the part of the story they always cut out is the fact that they shot at the Bigfoot before they were under siege at their own cabin. So Fred Beck, I'll just get adjusted. Anybody home? Okay, so I had to reshoot that sequence of the cabin because after I got in there, some hunters on quads came by and they're all curious, even though it wasn't their property. So here's the reshoot. Right, so here's the remnants of an old log cabin. Fred Beck and 4 others were mining, Washington State, near now what's called Ape Canyon. But let's back that up. A day or two before the famous attack on the cabin, Charlie, I think it was Charlie, or it wasn't Fred, but was out at a creek getting a drink, and he took a shot at one of the creatures that was up on the ridge, and it might have even fallen into the creek in the canyon. So anyway, he went back, reported that, and then the next day they went off to their mine, and on the way back they were being paralleled on the sides of the trail. It was more than one. Heavy footfalls, branches breaking. The guys were all spooked, had their rifles ready to go. Um, they boarded up for the night after a good day on the job. Let's come in here. And I guess right around midnight, sometime late in the evening or early in the morning, the attack commenced on a cabin, pounding on the logs, rocks coming down from the ridge behind them onto the roof. Fred Beck and them were defending themselves, but only, here's a key thing also, they were defending themselves shooting at any Sasquatch that was trying to break in, like through the windows or the walls there, chunk missing. But they decided not to shoot at ones that were just in the area. They only shot at the ones in defense that were trying to break into their cabin after one of their own Sasquatch of the group was shot. And I don't know if it died or it might have died when it fell in. Canyon might have been fished out. Who knows? They're pretty tough, so could have survived it, but probably was killed and then fished out. And so pretty awesome. I guess one of the most famous, if not the most famous, reports out there. John Green, the late great John Green, interviewed Fred Beck. The next day after the attack, they all packed up and went and left. One of the guys, who was a serious guy, told some of the people about it in town, I guess where they take their gold maybe to trade it in. And it was investigated actually. They went back and but nothing happened after they left. So pretty awesome. They were firing at the roof. I don't know if they were on the roof or just pounding on the roof or hitting them with rocks, but they were firing through the walls, and I don't know if there was a door or a window. There was just a door, and they're firing through like the chinks that's come loose in the between the logs, and it was mostly just for defense. So that's 1924 that happened, or the story came out in 1924, or was it, might have been earlier than that. But anyway, when that story came out, that's when Albert Osterman came forward with his abduction, and he was put through the scrutiny as well, and he gave a very accurate description of like a mountain gorilla in North America. And at that time there wasn't any zoos, so for him to get any first-hand information on him, pretty cool. Right, so this is like the second attempt or third attempt at some follow-up footage. I did include a still at the end of this little clip here. For some reason the video files are corrupt, or maybe it's just my laptop card being out of date, but anyway, to my left there where I'm pointing, that's where an adult Sasquatch came close. And with that said, in the clip, turn up the volume. I made the mistake of standing too far away from the camera again. Anyway, it came up and smelled me and then went running through the sumacs and the tall grass, and I could hear its heavy footfalls. So, I mean, I'm 220 and I couldn't hear myself on the video recorder or even when I was walking, but anyway, it took the opportunity when my back was turned to come up and check me out and then run back, and it was pretty scary. So after I figured out it wasn't a bear, I backed off and then I went back, and then I got this clip here, and this is a still from it, but you can't see it there. I can see the general outline of it where it's hiding. You see the unnatural shape there. But anyway, here's the clip. Hi everyone, Lane Tyler, coming to you from northeastern Ontario. Okay, gotta make this quick. I just had a chopper buzz me. Did a couple figure eights, and I don't know if they're ministry or just scouting, hunting, locations or just curious to see, you know, I duck down. I don't know, this habit, just hide on them a bit. Anyway, I mentioned in one of my videos, Gray Sasquatch at Abandoned Farm, that something, Sasquatch came up behind me, sniffed, and then ran away. And how do I know it was Sasquatch? Well, at first I was thinking bear because I heard a big sniff. I don't, you know, like the capacity of the smell, the sniff of the nasal cavity is either like a bear or something big like a Sasquatch, right? But anyway, within the same split second after it was sniffing, smelling, heavy footfalls running. I think that we're going kind of on zigzag that way. I was over here. I just got a text message from my wife saying stay safe, but I forgot to turn off the audio on it, the sound. So it beeped. And I'll just go over and I'll show you what I did, what happened, and then I'll film that way. And we're not going to find prints or anything. I mean, the grass is all spongy. And I noted right, I think I did a follow-up investigation right then and there, but I was standing too far away from the camera so you couldn't hear me. So it's kind of a redo, but I had to look around. You can't find prints in here. The grass is just way too spongy. But there is a couple trails through here. Anyway, so I'll go over here. I'll sort of show you what happened. We'll look around a little bit. I just want to post that. Okay. So it was actually kind of scary because I thought it was a black bear stalking me, right? I've seen, you know, videos of bears coming up behind people and hiker tourist dude filming, and the next thing you know, he gets knocked down, right? So I'm like buttoning my knife, unbuckling my knife, and I didn't have bear spray or anything with me, just my knife, and my camera actually was on the monopod, just like it is right now, filming me, except it was just off. I just stuck it in there, and I think I might have taken a picture of a nice scenic area over there. All the leaves are changing. The sumacs were all nice and bright fuchsia red. Anyway, okay, well, you know what? I'll show you, and I'll just narrate a little bit. So, I was right there somewhere, and I was turned, not completely my back to the opposite side, but kind of, you know, you can still see over your shoulder a little bit. And I think I might have taken a picture, but my phone alert went off, and I got a text message. And so I was shutting it down, and then while I was busy, my camera was off and on top of the monopod like it is right now. Something came through there, and I don't know how close it got. I mean, I guess it could have been maybe about halfway up the clearing there. Let me just go up there, and I'll show you how close it got. Perhaps, I mean, it came pretty close enough that, so within range of, I don't know how far they can smell, but okay, so in there. I don't know exactly if that was the path, but Kind of scared me there. I thought a freaking black bear was on my butt, and I wasn't prepared for it, and I got caught. I didn't even have my camera ready if it was a squatch. I was just, like, you know, see how all the sumacs are all nice fuchsia red? And I was taking picture, you know, I got a new cell phone. It's got a better camera, and I was just kind of trying it out, and my phone beeped. I got a text message. Something came through right in there. Now I'm going to show you something. I have to shut down because otherwise you'll get the spinning of the camera coming off. And then I'm pretty sure it took off that way, like it went on the left side of that little cedar, which is, I guess it's like, wow, maybe 7 feet tall cedar. But anyway, it went right through all those sumacs and stuff. And if it was a bear, bears sort of crash through the woods, you know, because they're, but this, the only sound I heard was a really heavy footfalls. So, pretty cool. I mean, I'm kind of kicking my butt that I didn't get anything on film. But I mean, it happened so fast, like literally, like within like a 1001 kind of steamboat counting system. It smelled and took off running, and it had to be, like, I can't hear my footfalls on the grass here. It had to be like 2 or 3 times my weight to make sounds like that. Okay, here comes that chopper again. I better shut down. Right, so as stated earlier in the video, I was being followed right from the start once I got on this path. Kind of like maybe what happened with Fred Beck and the boys when they were hiking back from the mine. But anyway, there's a little bit better shot of a real Sasquatch to the upper left of my backpack watching me, and I got enhancement coming here where I circled it. Um, but I don't think this is the one that came up behind me. This one is smaller. The one that came behind me must have been quite large to leave that kind of footfall sound. Possible knocks. I got a picture of a couple watchers last time. And these cedars. I was having my lunch. Snapped off a few shots. Right, so here's a Sasquatch doing their typical hiding trick where they fade out. But this, I think it's a female. This Sasquatch made the mistake of hiding in trees in full sun, and it stood out when I did a pan, and that's an enhanced shot. Um, I don't think that's the one that came right up behind me. It looks too small. That's like maybe a 7 footer, maybe a little my height. I'm 6 feet, 6'2" with boots, and there might be a little one at her feet there. But anyway, the one that came up behind me must have been quite large. I mean, to hear those heavy footfalls, and I think I got a picture of that guy in the winter after it bumped into me, or one of them bumped into me. It might have been this female, so maybe it was their boyfriend, like a 10 foot tall boyfriend, which is kind of scary. And yeah, it's not dramatic Sasquatch footage, but it's a real encounter that happened I think last September. And I've been trying for a year to get some footage of him on a path with my GoPro, but I think the blinking light scares him off. Yeah, this chopper's been circling. I don't know what the deal is, but he's just did a figure 8 over me. I don't know what that's all about. Okay, so here's a little bit better picture, actually a lot better picture of the Sasquatch in that area. There's like a 7 foot one with profile shot and a smaller juvie looking right at me behind those white pines, white birch maybe. There's also one to the left just peeking over the branches. But anyway, again, real Sasquatch are hard to see. Hoaxes are not, and people get so used to the hoaxes that they come in and they criticize real footage because it's not as good as the hoax. Well, that's the way it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'm working on getting some GoPro footage of them. I've taped up the blinking light. So anyway, who knows? See you soon.